What up, man? What's the word? From the 80's podcast, man. From the 80's podcast. I'd like to thank y'all for showing up, showing out. All the love I've been getting has been, overwhelming. I ain't gonna lie. A lot of people hit me up, you know what I'm saying? Whether they wanted to start a podcast or come on my podcast. And it's been a lot of love. And I appreciate that, man. Fourth time is the charm. I'm here. We knew better, so now we gonna do better this time. I'm wiser. You know what I'm saying? I know more. And this how we starting it, bro. Shout out to everybody. Nah, this is dope, man. I'm happy. I'm excited to start another podcast. This time we can try to get it right. I had other podcasts in the past before. Shout outs to the Corner Convo boys, QX, Chopper. You know what I'm saying? Gunshot fell out of you. You know what I mean? That was the first podcast I was on. That's what got me to start up. I learned a lot from them dudes. And that was my first my first time doing a podcast, like with equipment. It was in a crib. It was in one of the homies' cribs, but it was the first time with equipment. You know what I'm saying? Real microphones, headphones, computers. You know what I'm saying? We picked the topics, ordered food, and chopped it up like homies. And we did like 13 episodes. They didn't last too long. Even though 13 episodes is a lot, it ended up fading out. But it was a learning experience. But I will say this though. I was the youngest one, so it was kind of, to me, like big brother, little brother at times. You know what I'm saying? Niggas would gang up on me, on my opinions and my views. You know what I'm saying? And it's cool because sometimes you gotta get your weight up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I come from that. You know what I'm saying? I come from, if you just coming on, you gotta put in work. You gotta get your weight up. You know what I mean? You gotta listen to the older homies or whatever the case is. So, like, it was more they thing. You know what I'm saying? Some of the topics they picked was what they picked, and creative differences. But it was still, all in all, it was a good experience. That was my first time. Yeah, but I'm happy to have y'all here, man. This podcast is about, it's definitely not about bashing women. I love women. I love women in my family, women on the street. I love my black women, my Afro-Latinas, my Chinese, know what I'm saying, my Guyanese, know what I'm saying. I love everybody. You know what I mean? This podcast is about things I want to talk about, things I fuck with, you know what I mean? Things I like to do. You know what I'm saying? And it's just me this time around. I don't have a co-host. As you can see, nobody here. Other episodes there will be, people, B mics filling in every now and then, and they gonna pop their shit like how I'm gonna pop my shit. But right now, it's just me. You know what I'm saying? From the 80's podcast. And I named it From the 80's podcast because that's where I'm from. I'm from T-Bot and 188th Street. I know you probably think, oh, it's the 80's. You're going to talk about Ron Isley and Black Panthers and heroin and cocaine and things like that. I am going to talk about that. But that's not why I named it From the 80's podcast. I named it From the 80's podcast because I grew up on T-Bot and 188th Street. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in the 80's. I went to school on 184th, went to middle school on 81st, so I was up and down the 80's. That's where I come from. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the people that was from over there. You know what I'm saying? I spent a lot of my childhood and teenage years growing up in that area. If you know, you know. Shout out to the niggas from the 80's, man. I can't break that down enough to y'all. You feel me? That's just where I'm from. And I was born in 1987. So it's a double entendre. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's called From the 80s podcast. I'm talking about cocaine, Ron Isley, Patti LaBelle, you know what I'm saying? Bell bottoms, you know what I'm saying? All that shit. All of it. You know? But yeah, man, I'm gonna talk about music, black culture. I love black culture, you know. If you know me, I love my black people. I'm a modern day honorary G Unit diplomat Black Panther. I'm all of that. Locks. I'm down with all of that. And I love animals. I like the Animal Planet and oxtails and things of that nature. But yeah, that's the shit I'm gonna be talking about. And when people come on, we're gonna pop our shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, other episodes down the line, they gonna pull up. We got a second mic and they gonna talk. You know what I'm saying? I got a bunch of people that wanna come on and build with your boy. And I appreciate that, man, because they ain't have to do that. Yeah, shout out to them. But like I said, this is my fourth time of the podcast. Another time I had a podcast, obviously I was with my ex, Tamara, you know what I'm saying? East New York resident, thoroughbred. She knew a lot. Her mind, sharp. Her mouth, dangerous. Beautiful woman, man. Beautiful woman. Let me stop. Beautiful woman. You know what I'm saying? And the conversation just flow with her. That's why I was like, yo, you want to do a podcast? And she was like, yeah. And I grabbed her by the hand. I grabbed her. Sorry. I grabbed her by the hand. And I had a plan. I said, yo, let's do this. You know what I'm saying? We talk about everything. We talk about politics. We talk about, you know what I'm saying? I remember one conversation we had, we talked about, I said, yo, if we had a child together and I wanted to take him to the gun range, he or she to the gun range, and they was under 18, how would you feel about that? And we got into a big, aggressive debate about it because she like, I don't know. You know, I don't want them to think about having guns. And I'm like, yo, the world we live in, white people are teaching their kids how to shoot. So, you know, why not? I don't want them walking down the gun like Tupac and Juice, walking down the street like Tupac and Juice, but I want my child prepared. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, oh, I don't know. And guess what? When we broke up, this where she was at. As a matter of fact, hold on. I used to tell her, like, how you feel about, you know what I'm saying, learning how to shoot and defend yourself. Oh, I don't know. Down the line, we broke up. Guess where she was at? Guess where she at on her Instagram? In the gun range. Busting caps in niggas' asses. I'm telling you, I ain't. It's Nostradamus, man. Nostradamus. But I like my women sharp like that. I like my women soft life and gangster. That's how I like my women. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? She gotta be able to put lip gloss on and shoot like La Femme Nikita, nigga. Yeah. Soft life and gangster. That's what I want my woman to be. But yeah. You know, and then we rented a podcast studio. My fault for getting sidetracked. We rented a podcast studio downtown. You know what I'm saying? She would get dressed up, put her makeup on, do her hair. I used to be just like, you know, wait till we get back. And we would do topics, get our laptops, take an Uber downtown. You know what I'm saying? And go in a professional studio with white people in there and say what we want to say because that's how we stood on it. You know what I'm saying? We stood on it. It was a white engineer in the next room looking at us. And we was talking, popping our shit about how they ain't shit. And they were just in the next room like, yeah, that's how we was giving it up. You know what I mean? For real. And we did like 13 episodes. But, you know what I'm saying? Her mom passed away. God rest her soul. And a beautiful woman. She supported us. When I pulled up, she used to always say, "Yo, I listen to y'all podcast. Y'all are so funny." And yeah, man, rest in peace, Roxanne. And yeah, and then shortly after, not shortly after, but eventually we broke up. You know what I'm saying? We started going having our ups and downs, and the podcast ended. So that was my second time trying to podcast, and then I could go on to my bro. I try to start with my homie Cash, my ex homie. He a op now, but it is what it is. He just didn't have the drive. Like, he wanted to do it, but here's the thing about podcasting. This is what I want y'all to know. If you starting a podcast with your homegirl, your homeboy, or whatever the case is, showing up and talking is a small part of podcasting. You understand? It's a small part of podcasting. That's the smallest part. You gotta edit. You gotta come up with thumbnails, come up with ideas, upload. All that stuff take time. And if you ain't got time, it's hard to do. So, I'm the type of nigga that at this point in my life, if I'm gonna do a podcast with somebody, it gotta be 50-50. He wanted to automatically give up a percentage, which automatically told me he don't even want to learn. Like, you just want to give up a percentage. So he like, yo, you take 60%, 70%. And know what I'm saying? And that mean you just gonna show up and talk. I might not have the time to edit something. Like, you tell me you can't even do a thumbnail, my nigga. You can't even upload or edit, cut something out, a curse word or something. This ain't gonna work. We ain't get past the first episode. Dead ass. And that was late last year. This was a fresh podcast. The YouTube page is still up. It was called Boogie Boys, about sports. And that shit deaded. Just like that. Cold turkey. Pilot episode. No first episode. I ain't talked to him since. So I said, he alright, my nigga. And I was like, fuck it. This time around, I'm going to do it by myself. I got the equipment. I'm going to do it dolo. So shout outs to me, man. Ain't letting nothing stop me. You feel me? Ain't shit stopping me this time around. Nothing. I got the equipment. I got the voice. I got the mindset. I got the hunger. I'm hungry. I want this, man. I want to get rich off giving my opinion, because I got a strong opinion, and I'm not one of these niggas out here that's gonna bite their tongue or, you know what I'm saying, or change it up or follow the crowd. I'm not a sheep, you know what I'm saying? I'm a Leo, for real, for real. I'ma say what I feel. And I shout out to my nigga Tax Stone. And he locked up, but that's the godfather to me. He a Leo too. East New York nigga. Shout outs to him. You know what I'm saying? But that's pretty much my podcast life. Like, I'm not a nigga that talk much, but I when I do talk, I like to make it important. I like to talk about shit I like to talk about. I don't like small talk. So some people might say, he quiet. Why he starting a podcast for? Bitch, I don't want to talk to you. Nigga, I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to me. Well, yeah, sometimes you talking to yourself. They say you talk to yourself, you ain't crazy. So when you answer yourself, that mean you crazy. But yeah, that's my podcast history, man. So I does this, really. I really does this. Like, I'm a vet in this, honestly. I just ain't been successful yet. But kind of. I got some views. But yeah, you can catch this podcast. Pro Culture 80 is the umbrella. That's the brand. From the 80s is the podcast on the brand. You feel me? So if I decide to get successful and sign other podcasts, it's going to be on the Pro Culture 80. That's the brand. Pro Culture 80 is my brand. You know know what I'm saying? Because I'm for the culture. You already know what the 80s is for, baby. You know what I'm saying? Ron Isley, cocaine, heroin, all the good stuff. Fentanyl. No fentanyl. But yeah, from the 80s podcast, man. Let me give y'all a quick story, a real quick story. You know what I'm saying? My grandmother's a strong black woman. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, there was babysitters, but a lot of parents couldn't probably afford them or trust anybody, especially Jamaican parents. So they would tell you, the babysitter was her telling you, don't let nobody in. That was the babysitter right there. And my mom left one day and she was like, don't let nobody in. It was me and my older sister, Roxanne. Shout out to Roxanne. And she was like, don't let nobody in. And she dipped. Somebody knocked on the door a little later, shortly after. I'm paraphrasing. This is before I was 13, I guess. And the nigga, I said, who is it? He said something, Sean or some shit like that. I don't know what he said. I forgot what he said. I thought it was my mom's friend, was the point. So I opened the door. The nigga came in. He was sweating and then he was like, oh, can I use the phone? And I'm like, what? This nigga. I tried to open the door. Nigga slammed it back shut. I looked at my sister. I said, we gonna die. We dead. We dead. She started panicking. Try to open it again. Nigga slammed it. I think he said, can I use the phone or something? Luckily, by the grace of God, my grandmother was coming up the stairs, rang the doorbell. My sister yelled, Grandma, somebody in here. She said, what? She Jamaican. Boom. She pushed the door, bro. She pushed the door. Yo, like the FBI. Boom. FBI, open up. Boom. Push him out. Push the nigga. Push the nigga in. She come inside. What you doing in here? I just want to use the phone or some shit like that. Nigga sweating. Might have been a fiend. I don't know. Yo, grab the broom. Start beating him with it. Boom, boom, boom. He run out. My grandma started chasing him down the stairs. Hitting the nigga in the head. Boom, boom. Walking, running down the stairs after him. My grandma's a strong black woman. And a ninja. I didn't even know. God bless her, man. She's still alive, man. I swear to God, this story is real true. It's true. You know what I mean? It's facts. This is facts. My grandmother's a ninja. I ain't lying. This is why I'm not here to bash women. I'm here to tell you. I love women, bro. I love women. A woman saved my life. I know people see some of my posts sometimes and I'm a little hard on the hood rats, but I love hood rats. You know what I'm saying? I got the St. Louis hat. That's for Sexy Red. Shout outs to her. But yeah, man, that's what my podcast is going to be about. I ain't really got no topics because this is the first go around. The second episode is going to have a topic. I think my ex is going to come through. Tiffany Hennessy, she said to call her. That's like her Sasha Fierce. But I think she's going to come through either the second or third episode once I get the second mic situated. But yeah, I want to shout out everybody from 188, from where I grew up at, man. I'll give a shout out to my nigga Doms. You know what I'm saying? He got a record label making great music right now. Came home, got an LLC. You know what I'm saying? I want to shout out my nigga Fredo. He got his podcast coming. Shout out nigga Dennis. He on Twitch right now, probably. My cousin Shane got a clothing line. My nigga Smooth got a basketball tournament that was fire. Like, Smooth, my nigga Smooth putting in work. I ain't gonna lie. And any nigga want to play basketball, we got niggas. You got niggas, bro. For real. Like, put the fed up and all of that. Shout out my nigga Bugs. He got the beats if you need beats. Know what I'm saying? My cousin Dre, he DJ. My nigga Harlem do photo shoots. If you need photo shoots, my nigga got it. Look like official shit, bro. I'm not lying to you niggas. Know what I'm saying? Shout out my nigga Johnny Boy. Know what I'm saying? Shout out my cousin L Bill. He got a podcast coming. He probably gonna be another guest. He probably be the second person on the episode. Shout out my cousin Jason. He got a clothing line. And I'm trying. All my people's working. You know what I'm saying? They working towards something. And it's each one teach one. You know what I'm saying? Cause that's how we giving it up. And I'm gonna close out with saying, don't be discouraged, man. Press record, put the content out, do what the fuck you want to do. People gonna judge and talk anyway, so it don't even fucking matter. Just do what you want to do. You feel me? Do what you feel like doing, cause I'm doing what I feel like doing. I want to talk. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have topics next time around, like I told y'all, and we gonna have fun. You know what I'm saying? I just need y'all support. Listen while you on the train. Listen while you taking a shower, and hit me up if you want to talk about something. You know what I'm saying? Call in, do whatever the fuck you want to do, cause it's my podcast. So we can do what we want to do this time around. You feel me? So it's gonna be on the Pro Culture. I need y'all to go to that, subscribe, and the episodes is gonna be on there. And I'm gonna end up putting it on, Google, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, all that shit, so you can listen to it. So until next time, my friends.